back. You are tuned into Traders Nation. My pleasure to have back with us once again mega-selling book author Larry Winget. This time around, it's What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything. Larry, welcome back to Traders Nation. How are you today?
I'm always good. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Larry, you're more than welcome. Okay. All right. What is wrong with damn near everything? What brought you to write it this time?
You know, every time I write a book, I kind of look around at what's going on in society and figure out what ticks me off the most. And I did that with every one of them. This time is what really was bothering me is I've written 6 bestsellers about all the things that people could do to fix the problems and what was causing the problems. And what I came to realize is that that's not enough. You have to look really deep at why people are doing the things that they're doing and why society is in the mess that it is. And it's because of a collapse of core values. We've lost things like honesty, integrity, respect, self-reliance, work ethic, those things. That really is the cause of all the problems we're experiencing.
I totally agree with you, Larry. You know, some people know what their core values are, some don't. What's your definition of a core value?
Well, core values never change. I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Aren't they fluid? No, they really aren't fluid. These are honesty never goes out of style. Neither does integrity or respect or those things. Priorities shift. But I think the quickest way to figure out what is a priority is to look at what's really bothering you. You know, see what really ticks you off. And once you can figure that out, the things that bother you the most, the reason they bother you is because they are in conflict with your core values. I hate it when somebody's late. But it's not their being late that bothers me. It's a lack of respect for other people and other people's time, and for me, their customer or their friend. And so we have to look deeper at the things that bother us the most and figure out they're in violation with our core values.
Well, is there a true test to see? I mean, you said when things really make you mad or make you upset, for instance, like being late, Larry, okay? I'm the same way. If I'm late, I'm either in the hospital or I'm deceased, right? I'm gone. I'm out of this world. So what is there? Is there a true test to really for somebody to sit back and say, okay, what are my core values? Is there a test for that, Larry?
You know, I don't think there's a test. I think you can look at what's going on in your life and figure out the actions that you take are as a result of your core values. You know, in business and in life, and most of those goofy thought leaders and gurus and all that stuff, they always attack actions. And if you just go after somebody's actions saying, change this, do this, that works for a really short time.
Yeah.
Because actions always come out of who we are. And so I think you have to go deeper and realize that everything you do is a result of who you are.
Yeah. You mentioned actions, and you're right. I think that if you don't know what's under the hood, if you don't know how that engine runs, then if you listen to somebody that says do this, do that, that's only temporary, isn't it? You got to know how it runs, and you got to know how you're going to move forward with that, right?
That's exactly right. That's why most of the fixes that the authors and the thought leaders and so forth offer us really don't last very long. It's because we're only trying to fix things from the outside in. Look at what's going wrong in our school systems, in our country, in our government. It's all outside in stuff, and everything has to change based on who we are.
Yeah. You know what? Let's switch on to business since you mentioned. I don't know why some leadership does this, but let's face it, they do. They spend so much time focusing and catering to the worst employees in an effort to try to save them. Why is that?
I think sometimes it's their ego. If they can take somebody who's really a lousy employee and say, look, I made them a little better, not understanding that does very little for the business and actually costs them too much money. I also think it's because we live in a litigious society that if we fire all the losers who work for us, which every leader could go in and fire at least 10% of the people who work there, and it wouldn't change the bottom line productivity at all. But if we do that, somebody's going to sue you.
Yeah.
And basically in every level of society, as well as in families and government, we cater to the lowest common denominator. And if we're really going to take back our businesses and society and government and school systems and so forth, we're going to have to stop that.
We're in a litigated society, right? We really are.
Yep.
We've gotten to that point where you can't do anything without being threatened by a lawsuit, okay?
Yep.
You can't look at somebody strange or cross-eyed because you're going to get sued. How do businesses combat that?
Well, I think it goes back to our hiring practices, Kurt. If we hire for core values other than tasks, you know, the reality is I can take anybody and teach them a skill-based job. If that's all I'm looking for, I can take any bozo off the street and teach them the skills with enough time on how to do most things. That's not really important, and that's not what's going to give us great growth and great companies later on and down the road. Instead, we need to go back to, is this the right kind of person? Were they raised with those core values? He'll tell me the truth no matter what, even if it's the cold, hard, ugly truth about how he screwed up. I'll get the truth from him. I'd rather have that person,
right?
Because I can still teach that person how to do things, but I can't teach somebody how to be honest. I can't teach you how to have integrity or respect. You got it or you don't got it. That's the way it is.
Larry, I always said that attitude is everything, and attitude is a part of your core values, okay? And you're right. You can train anybody to do a great job, okay, as long as they have a core base to go from, and that's your values, okay?
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly. And that's why we can change businesses, we can change government, not based on what people say they're going to do or what they've done, but based on who they are. And so I would like to see businesses and leaders move more into hiring for values rather than hiring for skill sets.
Yeah.
And everybody talks about their values in their in their skill sets in their resumes. What if people started to say, you know, I've made mistakes, and I wish I'd have done some things better, but I tell you what, I'm honest and I have integrity, and I will respect you as my boss and my coworkers and the competition, and I will respect the facility that I work for, and I have absolute self-reliance, and I don't expect you to do things for me. I'll go, okay, I'll give you a shot.
Yeah, and do you think hiring process is probably the biggest challenge facing businesses today? You think people just don't know how to hire anymore?
Yeah, and I think that's going to be more and more of a challenge. We have some real generational issues. We have boomers who don't know how to communicate or understand the values of millennials. We have millennials who don't get who we boomers really are. And so there's going to be some generational conflict there. And so it's really going to be harder and harder moving forward to hire well based on what you want. I tell you, the key to all of this is clarity. When a business owner says, this is who we are, and we won't compromise. I don't care who you are. We're not compromising. We'll fire you on day one because we are clear about who we are, what we stand for, what we believe in, what we will and won't put up with, how we will treat others, how we will treat our customers. Yeah. We're absolutely clear on that.
Yeah.
And those things really have to be black and white. There's no gray areas around this stuff.
Yeah, I got to totally agree with you. We see a lot of compromise going on today in business. And because of that gray area, more of it goes on. All right, we're running out of time. We got about a minute and a half. What's with all the isms? Okay, good Lord, my head's going to explode. I mean, phobiaism, thisism, that-ism. I mean, come on, seriously. Oh, my, every time I hear it.
There's an ism for everything. I agree with you. And, you know, I think that goes back to clarity. This is what I believe in. This is what I stand for. This is what I'll do and I won't do. And if people just got that kind of clarity and became uncompromising and a little more tolerant of, I don't care what you believe as long as it doesn't affect me, I'm good with it.
Yeah, tolerism. Oh, I about had it. About had it with it, Larry. All right, so we touched on some of these topics here today. I know there's a lot more that's involved. Where can we get a copy of What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything? Where can we get a copy today?
I tell you what, you ought to be able to get it in any bookstore. All the online stores certainly have it. Amazon's a great place. You can even contact LarryWinget.com, and we can ship one out to you.
All right. And what about social media? I know you're pretty active out there in social media. Can people get connected?
I am. Larry Winget fan page on Facebook. Larry Winget on LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram and all those places.
Awesome. All right. Check out Larry Winget today. Of course, Larry Winget, What's Wrong with Damn Near Everything? Great book. We're going to have Larry back on here in the near future. I know it. We've got much more to cover. I know that. I'm Kurt Schimmer, your host of Traders Nation. This has been another original broadcast interview, this time with Larry Winget. Always remember, keep your eyes on your radar and your ears on us. Larry, thanks for being.